always seen it as a sort of an added bonus with this whole modern classic bike movement. It's a sort of a niche corner of the bike market, an area that the motorcycle industry doesn't cater for with any real dedication. And this means that there's a group of small companies all over the world dedicated to providing parts and apparel that are commensurate to the modern classic or neo-classic bike movement. And because they're relatively small companies rather than huge corporations, they tend to concentrate on quality and style, something that just seems to be missing from the mainstream manufacturers. All these parts and pieces of apparel are made by actual people rather than just being churned out of a huge industrial machine, and it gives them a unique character and feel. It sort of provokes an emotional response that you don't get with other products. In order to survive, they have to concentrate on superb quality. Traditional manufacturing methods carried out by people who actually care about what they're doing rather than how many they're producing. And I don't think there's any clearer example of this than the gear offered by GOLDTOP England. I've heard people say that they've never heard of GOLDTOP, or they've referred to them as a new brand. But the truth is, GOLDTOP is one of the old British motorcycling names. Back in the 1950s, 60s and into the 1970s, they were up there with the best, the likes of Barber International and Belstaff. But as we slid into the 1980s and motorcycling declined in popularity, some names decided to, for want of a better word, betray the motorcycle heritage and used it as a way into mainstream fashion. GOLDTOP wasn't one of them. Now, I don't know the full reason for it, and some would probably say it was bad management at the time. The brand in a lot of ways faded into obscurity, serving a small brand of traditional bikers and vintage bike owners. And it's preserved a manufacturing style and ethos that the other big names have now completely lost. But this recent surge in modern classics has allowed GOLDTOP to come out of the shadows and shine. Although they have preserved and continued with their traditional product lines, they've also taken this opportunity to bring out new lines and new products to appeal to the more discerning motorcyclist. The last couple of years have seen them introduce for the first time CE approved armour in the clothing and now in the gloves, with two new eye-catching designs, or at least they caught my eye: the silk-lined Predator glove and the silk-lined Raptor glove. In both cases, these gloves represent a sort of traditional classic quality that wouldn't look out of place on a fine English saddle, and combining it with modern protective materials to make a product that still looks traditional and classic but still meets modern protective motorcycle clothing criteria. Now, both come in various colours. I got a pair of the Raptors in sand and the Predators in a classic sort of brown colour. And I'll start with the Predators because I've quite literally worn these to death this summer. GOLDTOP gloves are renowned for both the durability and the comfort, and I'm pleased to report that, as usual, they are comfortable. But these gloves have also stood up to the rigours of riding this summer, despite the harsh treatment that they've had. They're constructed from a pleasing mix of both perforated and elasticated pleated leather, and they are designed to be a summer glove. They're reasonably short at the cuff, which is useful if you have a bike jacket with tight cuffs, and although they appear to have a press stud strap fastener, it is actually velcro underneath. I think the most unique feature of both these gloves is the way that GOLDTOP have implemented the Nox Microlock armour into the knuckles. They've chosen not to simply bond it into the glove body as most manufacturers do, and instead the armoured part itself is a floating design. This allows unrestricted movement of the hand without the armour interfering. This is unique, something I haven't seen before. The fingers are gel padded for comfort and protection, with a further padded section on the heel of the palm. GOLDTOP described these gloves as a hybrid half silk, half unlined internal design, with a silk lining along the top of the hand whilst the palms left unlined. They say this helps with heat dissipation during the summer, but also helps to keep the hands warm when it gets cooler. We're used to seeing double reinforced stitching on key areas in gloves, but GOLDTOP have gone a step further with these, with all the key stress points now being triple stitched. Now, I'm not going to go on to tell you each individual nuance of the design of these gloves. There's no point me telling you what you can see, so just watch the video for a moment or two and then we'll move on to the Raptors. Now, I haven't worn the Raptors as much as I have the Predators, and it's not because I don't like them. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's because they're so nice that I've been trying to sort of keep them for best. I know that sounds silly, but I am very selective about when and where I wear them. They have the same basic features as the Predators, and this sand coloured finish I think has been achieved by using GOLDTOP's vintage oil because it smells glorious. Instead of a strap fastening, they have a very substantial zip. They are slightly longer at the cuff, so with some jackets you're either going to have to fasten them over the cuffs, or if you've got a jacket with loose cuffs you can tuck them underneath. The Raptors seem to have the same key features as the Predator, but there's something about the way they're put together that for me puts them on another level. I really don't know what it is. Perhaps it's the sand finish, the colour, I don't know. But just like the Predators, these gloves tend to get better with age rather than getting scuffed and wear out. GOLDTOP gloves seem to patternise and just improve the more you use them. GOLDTOP gloves are famous, and for good reason. I can't off the top of my head think of another manufacturer that puts the same level of thought and detail into motorcycle gloves. And whichever pair you might decide to choose, don't forget you're not just buying a pair of gloves. You're buying into almost 70 years of motorcycle apparel heritage and all the knowledge and expertise that comes from that. Now, I will leave a link in the video description down below for GOLDTOP England's website, but exercise extreme caution. Be aware their website is an Aladdin's cave of must-have items for the discerning motorcycle traveller, and I will take no responsibility for anyone who overspends or bankrupts themselves on GOLDTOP's site. Once again, thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've found it useful. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I will of course be back on Friday, so until then, ride safely, spend wisely, and I'll see you soon.